First, the Awaken America trade has taken a turn for the worse. Now, some people expected that. I didn't. All right. It's a disturbing spike in COVID cases across Alabama, Arizona, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Texas. The infection level so high that the governors of New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut have taken an unusual action, highly unusual action, and slapped a 14-day quarantine on travelers from these hot spots. That's really pretty amazing. Nationwide, we had more than 35,000 new cases today, which is about where these numbers peaked in April. Not good. It's just plain bad news for everything that depends on the economy reopening, which is a lot of things. If the Awaken America trade is losing, that means the stay-at-home trade is winning. But the stay-at-home stocks have already had huge runs to the point where they've reached nosebleed territory. The Nasdaq just had its biggest rally since the fourth quarter of 1999, the last full quarter before the dot-com bubble burst. As someone who traded through that period, I never want to hear anything that sounds even remotely like Q4 1999, where the high flyers exploded to insane levels in a series of parabolic moves, only to crash a few months later. Now, as David Faber, my partner at First Squawk on the Street, pointed out and reminded me, the prices we saw back then in 99 were absurd given the lack of earnings or even sales at some of these companies. Today, the tech, which is the leader, is very different. I mean, look at the big five, which, by the way, my travel trust owns every single one of these. Alphabet, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and Microsoft. They're all immensely profitable. They all have great growth. Rather than plummeting, I expect these stocks to right themselves. That's how I look at it. Right themselves pretty soon. And I wouldn't count out the Zooms or the Oktas or the Ring Centrals, the Twilios, the Etsy's, the Wixes either. They're going to bounce back. They have too much growth not to. But coming into the session, these stocks had 8 straight days of rallies. That's unnatural. When you get that kind of move, it always brings in sellers, and that's because people start thinking that they're parabolic. A parabola is something that goes like this, okay? And parabolas don't last. They just don't. Now, in the past, every one of these big sellers has brought in new buyers for these stocks, and I think it'll probably happen again. Last night, we highlighted some work from Larry Williams, who demonstrated that buying stocks in the 2 days before the July 4th holiday was remarkable. A terrific trade. Okay? But when we get sellers today, the buyers did not feel emboldened.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.